Good afternoon. Today, the search for Christopher Dorner continues. And let me be clear. Our dedication to catching this killer remains steadfast. Our confidence that we will bring him to justice is unshaken. This search is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I want Christopher Dorner to know that. To that end, we're all here today for one purpose, to stand united and say that we will not tolerate a killer targeting our officers and their families, targeting innocent people in this city and in this region. Yesterday, leaders from throughout the region, including leaders from businesses and unions, government, law enforcement, and community groups, came together to pool resources and protect our core value of public safety. Collectively, this group, led by my office, is posting a reward of $1 million for information that will lead to Mr. Dorner's capture. We will not tolerate anyone undermining the security, the tranquility of our neighborhoods and our communities. We will not tolerate this reign of terror that has robbed us of the peace of mind that residents of Southern California deserve. We will not tolerate this murderer remaining at large. Authorities from Los Angeles, Irvine, Riverside, the FBI, the United States Marshal Service, and other agencies are working together to bring this ordeal to an end. And let me say this, and some of you have heard me say this over the last 7.5 years again and again and again. We're as safe as we are. We're safer than any time since the 1950s, in no small part because the LAPD, the Sheriff Department, and the law enforcement agencies of this region work as collaboratively as they do. And that's also true, of course, for our federal partners. And once again, we are working seamlessly to protect the public and to bring Mr. Dorner to justice. Now, Chief Beck will give you an update on the search in just a moment. But first, allow me to acknowledge a number of people who are here with me today. In addition to LAPD Chief Charlie Beck, Riverside Mayor Rusty Bailey, Irvine Mayor Dr. Stephen Choi, FBI Assistant Director in Charge Bill Lewis, Riverside Police Chief Sergio Diaz, U.S. Marshal for the Central District of California David Singer, and also Supervisor Antonovich, who has joined us. I want to thank all of the public safety officers across the region for answering the call of duty. Every day, I marvel and applaud their unwavering bravery. Their dedication has been complemented by the vigilance of residents throughout this region. You've been on the lookout and shared your leads with law enforcement. We thank you for it. Anyone with tips can call 213-486-5230. But I also want to remind everyone to continue to be alert as long as this man remains at large. If you see Mr. Dorner or even suspect that you see him, please do not engage him. He is considered armed and extremely dangerous. With your help, we can bring this tragedy to an end. And now I'd like to introduce LAPD Chief Charlie Beck. I will give Spanish remarks afterwards.
Good morning, and thanks for being here. As the mayor said, the search for Dorner continues. We continue to focus on his last known locations in the Big Bear area, but our search continues in and around the areas where we have known targets. there are over 50 LAPD families that have not only security but surveillance in and around their neighborhoods. These 50 LAPD families are targets of Dorners and are likely victims. The reward that the mayor talked about, $1 million. This is the largest local reward ever offered to our knowledge. Some may ask, why so large? This is an act, and make no mistake about it, of domestic terrorism. This is a man who has targeted those that we entrust to protect the public. His actions cannot go unanswered. A society is defined by what it values, and we value our law enforcement family. That's why the reward is so significant. Also, this is not about capturing a fleeing suspect. This is about preventing a future crime, likely a murder. Every day the Dorner is loose, the likelihood of an attack on either a uniformed police officer or a family of a police officer is likely. That's why we rush to make this offer. We ask the public, please help us to protect you. Help us to find Dorner before he is able to kill again. I want to thank some folks. I want to thank my allied law enforcement brothers and sisters. We have co-located in our Joint Regional Intelligence Center. We are working seamlessly with our local, state, and federal partners. I am confident that we have the best of the best working this case. I visited the Joint Regional Intelligence Center yesterday, spoke personally to the scores of detectives working there. They are committed to this hunt. And the mayor is right. We will capture Dorner. We will bring him to justice. For those of you that have questions about how the reward works, the reward is for the capture and conviction. For those of you that question how so much money was put together, it was amazingly easy. When we reached out to members of this community, they gave immediately. And I want to particularly thank my employee organizations. Significant donation by my police union, the Police Protective League, significant donation by my Federal Credit Union, and they also reached out to employee organizations of law enforcement up and down the state who gave willingly. I want to thank the private donors who not only gave willingly but immediately. Many contacted me or the mayor. They didn't have to be asked. They called and demanded to be included. This shows what LA and Southern California values. And I think it's important that we make this statement, just as I think it's important that we capture Christopher Dorner.